Okay, we're in out of the cold and we're back in the digital dark room. We're going to work on some of the images that we shot out in the Smokies. It's a lot warmer in here than it was out there. It's good to be sitting in front of the computer. What I do to process my images is a really simple system and it works for me. I'm not suggesting that it's the way you should do things, but I think when you see what I do, you may pick up a tip or two that may be helpful to you. The whole point to the way I process is that I don't want to spend any more time working on images than is necessary. I want to be in the field shooting. I'm a photographer, not a technician. All of us have to be technicians because we do our own work unless you can afford to have someone do it for you. But I still would rather be out shooting than working on a computer. When I shoot an assignment or shoot in the field, I will gather all the images into Lightroom 3. And then I will pick the ones that I feel are the ones I really want to work on, and I'll export them from Lightroom 3 to the desktop and put them in a folder. And here's the folder that I'm using today. It's called Pics for Processing. And in that folder, I have the images that I want to work on. I'm going to do a few of what I call the simple steps to making quick and easy processing at the very beginning, and then we'll go into a few more complex things that I do, though I don't do a lot of complex things compared to Scott Kelby or Matt Kluskowski or any of the other wonderful technicians that have classes here. If I pull this image of the road and the snow down into Photoshop, a lot of people say, why would you use Photoshop? Because it is not non-destructive. What I use my images for, it usually doesn't matter. This is a copy to start with of the original photograph, and so I still have the original. And I usually are making my photographs to go into a program to be shown with an LCD projector or to go on a website, things like that. So I'm not making fine art prints, and these are quick edits so that I can use it for that purpose. First thing I notice when I come in here is part of a walkway sign is right in the edge of the frame. That's called being sloppy about your composition. So let's simply crop that out real quick. And that's the first thing we want to get rid of, is get that sign out of there. So now that's done. Now it's a fairly clean shot. I like the way the path leads your eye up into the distance. What I don't like is that the blue sky has put a little more blue content into the snow than I would prefer. So that's really pretty easy to fix. If we go up into our tools and go to levels, bring the levels box here. If we pick the white eyedropper and simply find a place in the snow that we feel it's about as wide as any spot there, someplace where it's probably blown out. I think this area right in here is going to work. If I click there, it immediately just pulls some of the blue out. Here's the comparison again. This is before and that's after. It was very, very subtle, but it did make this area in here just a hair wider, and that was all I was going for. I say okay, and then as far as I'm concerned, for the use that I'm going to make of this photograph, I'm finished. I can simply go in and save as, and I'm going to call it Snow Scene. And I'll save it back into the same envelope where everything was, the pics for processing. And leave it at the maximum resolution because I'm not sure what I'll do with it. I may make a print, but it's doubtful that I will. That's done. That was that simple. Now, that didn't take but a few minutes. I'm going to do some more, but that's the way I do basic processing.